The moment Staff Sergeant Marcus Cole's hands made contact with her shoulders, the moment he shoved her hard enough to send her sprawling onto the gravel compound of Forward Operating Base Phoenix, Lieutenant Commander Maya Rivers made a calculation. She could break his wrist in 3 moves, could put him on the ground in 2 seconds, could make him regret every assumption he'd just made about the 22-year-old woman in civilian clothes walking through his restricted area. Instead, she chose silence. Let her intelligence folder scatter. Let him feel powerful. Because in exactly 8 minutes, this Marine was going to learn that the girl he'd just assaulted outranked him by 4 pay grades and had more confirmed kills than his entire platoon combined. And that lesson was going to save his life, whether he deserved it or not. Before the story continues, please subscribe to our channel and stay with us until the very end. You won't believe how this Marine's mistake becomes a mission that saves 300 lives. Comment below with the city you're watching from so we can see how far this message about earned respect travels. Your support means everything. Thank you, and may God guide you. Maya Rivers tasted blood before she understood she was on the ground. Copper and humiliation mixed on her tongue where she'd bitten the inside of her cheek when her face hit the gravel. Her intelligence folder, classified documents about a Taliban commander named Rashid Khan, who'd killed 47 American soldiers in 6 months, was scattered in the dust like trash. I said, "Get out of here!" The voice belonged to the man who'd pushed her. Marine Staff Sergeant, based on the insignia. Maybe 30 years old. Built like someone who'd spent the last decade turning violence into a profession. Maya stayed down for exactly 3 seconds. Not because she couldn't get up. Not because she was hurt. But because she was making calculations that most people couldn't make under stress. 1. Drawing attention to herself compromised her mission. She was supposed to arrive quietly, brief the base commander, and coordinate a response to the intelligence she'd gathered during 6 months of deep cover work tracking Khan's network. 2. This Marine had just committed assault on a superior officer. But he didn't know that. Couldn't know that. Because Maya was wearing civilian clothes. Olive green t-shirt, camo pants, hair down. Having come directly from an operation where SEAL uniforms would have gotten her killed. 3. In approximately 7 minutes, this base was going to come under coordinated attack. The IED that had detonated outside the perimeter 60 seconds ago wasn't the main assault. It was the signal. And every second she wasted on ego was a second she couldn't spend preventing catastrophe. "You deaf?" The Marine was still talking. "This is a restricted area during security alerts. Civilians get to the bunkers or get off the base." Maya gathered her documents carefully, methodically, her hands steady despite the rage building in her chest. Not at him, at the situation, at the fact that she was 22 years old, female, and had spent her entire military career fighting battles that had nothing to do with enemies. "I'm not a civilian," Maya said quietly, standing. "I need to get to the TOC. It's urgent." "TOC is for military personnel. You need an escort to—" "I don't have time for this." She started walking. The Marine grabbed her arm. His grip was firm, meant to intimidate. It would have worked on most people. Maya had spent the last 6 months embedded with a Taliban cell, convincing men who thought women were property that she was a British journalist sympathetic to their cause. She'd sat through their planning sessions, learned their attack patterns, identified their leadership. And she'd done it while knowing that one wrong word, one suspicious glance, one moment of being recognized as American would mean rape, torture, and execution streamed on the internet. This Marine's grip was nothing. "Sir," Maya said, using the formal address despite the fact that she outranked him, despite the fact that he'd just assaulted her. "There's a coordinated attack coming. I have actionable intelligence that the base commander needs immediately. Either escort me to the TOC or let me go." But if you delay me and people die, that's on you." Something in her voice made him pause. Not the words, the tone, the absolute certainty. The kind of voice that didn't argue because it knew it was right. "Who are you?" "Someone who doesn't have time for this conversation." Alarms erupted across the base. Not the single-tone IED alert, the three-tone sequence that meant incoming fire. The Marine's head whipped toward the sound. His grip loosened just enough. Maya pulled free and ran. Behind her, the Marine was shouting something about authorization and protocol. But Maya was already gone, her legs eating ground the way they'd been trained to during SEAL conditioning, when instructors had tried to break her by making her run until her feet bled and her lungs burned, and she'd kept running anyway, because stopping meant failure, and failure meant proving everyone right who said women couldn't do this. The Tactical Operations Center was in the main building, reinforced concrete and steel, designed to withstand mortar fire. Maya hit the door at a dead sprint, showed the guard her CAC card, the military ID that listed her rank as LCDR-04, and the guard's eyes went wide.
"Commander, I didn't know."
"Where's Major Hayes?"
"Inside, ma'am, but we're under attack. He's not taking visitors."
Maya pushed past him. Inside, the TOC was controlled chaos. Screens showing drone feeds, radio operators calling out contact reports. And in the center, Major Robert Hayes, 45, career Marine, veteran of 3 deployments, was coordinating the defense. "Major Hayes," Maya said, approaching his station. Hayes glanced at her, did a double-take at her civilian clothes and her age, and his expression cycled through confusion to irritation. "Who let a civilian in here during an attack? Someone get her to a bunker." "Lieutenant Commander Maya Rivers, SEAL Team 7. Maya pulled out her ID, held it where he could see rank and clearance level. "I have urgent intelligence regarding this attack." Hayes's expression didn't soften. "Commander, you're what, 12? 22. And the attack you're experiencing is a feint. The real assault comes in 90 minutes. 200 enemy combatants with heavy weapons, RPGs, mortars. Your defensive grid has been compromised by an insider threat." "That's impossible. Our systems are secure." "Your systems are controlled by AI protocols designed by Sergeant Darren Mitchell, who's been on this base for 6 months and is currently working for Rashid Khan." Maya pulled out her intelligence folder, spread documents across Hayes's desk. "I've been tracking Khan's network since April. He's been planning this assault for 8 months. The IED, the small arms fire, it's theater. Meant to draw your security forces to the perimeter, while his real team infiltrates from the south, through the contractor entrance." Hayes was reading her documents, his expression darkening. "How did you get this intelligence?" "By spending 6 months pretending to be a journalist sympathetic to the Taliban cause. By attending their planning sessions. By earning their trust." Maya met his eyes. "And by being someone they underestimated because I'm young and female. Same mistake you're making right now, sir." The words hung in the air. Hayes could have reacted with anger, could have pulled rank, demanded respect, thrown her out for insubordination. Instead, he proved why he'd made Major, despite the Marine Corps being notorious for eating good officers alive. "What do you need from me?" he asked. "Permission to hunt the infiltrator, authority to bypass normal protocols, and someone who knows this base well enough to help me find him before he activates Khan's surprise." "What surprise?" "Khan didn't infiltrate your systems to spy. He infiltrated them to weaponize them. In 90 minutes, every automated defense you have, the turrets, the drones, the smart mines, will turn on your own people. And 300 American soldiers will die from their own security grid." Hayes's face went pale. "That's
already in motion.
Sergeant Mitchell has been planting signal amplifiers across the base for 6 months. When Khan sends the activation code, your defenses become his weapons. Unless we stop Mitchell first. Hayes was on his feet, calling for his XO. Major Harrison, get me Sergeant Mitchell's location, now. Sir, Mitchell's on duty at the communications tower. Says he's running diagnostics after the IED knocked out some of our antenna arrays. Maya and Hayes looked at each other. The communications tower. Perfect position to broadcast Khan's activation code to every amplifier on the base. He's doing it now, Maya said. Not in 90 minutes. Now. The attack timing was wrong in my intelligence. Khan moved up the schedule. How do you know? Because I would. If I were Khan and I knew someone was tracking me, I'd change my timeline to catch them off guard. We have maybe 20 minutes before he activates the grid. Hayes made a decision. Commander Rivers, I'm authorizing you to handle this, but you need an escort. Someone who knows the base. I'll take whoever you've got. Hayes pulled out his radio. Staff Sergeant Cole, report to TOC immediately. Maya felt her stomach drop. Cole? The Marine who... You've met? Briefly. The door opened. Staff Sergeant Marcus Cole entered, saw Maya, and his expression went through several rapid transformations. Confusion, recognition, horror. Sir, he said to Hayes, his voice strained, I need to report an incident. I assaulted a civilian outside the base about 5 minutes ago. Pushed her to the ground. I thought she was... He stopped, looked at Maya's CAC card still on Hayes's desk, saw the rank. Oh, God. You pushed Commander Rivers to the ground? Hayes's voice was ice. I didn't know, sir. She was in civilian clothes, no ID visible, walking through a restricted area during an alert. I thought she was a contractor who didn't understand the danger. So you assaulted her? Yes, sir. Maya spoke before Hayes could continue the verbal execution. Major, we don't have time for this. Staff Sergeant Cole made a mistake based on incomplete information. I need him functional, not torn apart by guilt. We can address the incident after we stop Khan. Cole looked at her with something like confusion mixed with gratitude. You're not going to press charges? I'm going to use you to stop an attack. Then we'll discuss your assumptions about women in combat zones. Maya turned to Hayes. Sir, I need authorization to access the communications tower, authority to detain or neutralize Sergeant Mitchell, and Staff Sergeant Cole as my escort. Can you provide that? Done. Hayes scrawled something on official paper, handed it to Maya. Written authorization. And Cole, you follow Commander Rivers' orders without question. She outranks you. She outtrains you. And based on her intelligence, she's about to save your life. Understood? Yes, sir. Then move, both of you. Maya and Marcus headed for the door. As they exited the TOC, Marcus spoke quietly. Commander, I need to apologize. You need to shut up and keep pace. We'll discuss your prejudices after we've prevented 300 deaths. They ran through the base compound. Mortars were landing now, small explosions meant to keep security forces pinned. Maya noticed things Marcus didn't. The patterns were wrong. Too scattered. Not designed to hit anything important. Just theater. You said you've been tracking Khan for 6 months, Marcus said, keeping pace beside her. You're 22. How long have you been a SEAL? Long enough. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting right now. They reached the communications tower. 3 stories of concrete and steel bristling with antenna arrays. The door was supposed to be locked during alerts. It was open. He's already inside, Maya whispered, which means he's either transmitting the activation code or preparing to. We go in fast, overwhelm him before he can trigger anything. No, we go in quiet.
If he panics, he triggers early. 300 people die.
Then what's your plan?
Maya pulled her sidearm, a SIG P226 that had been with her through situations Marcus couldn't imagine. You watch the door. I go in alone. If I'm not out in 3 minutes, come find me.
That's a terrible plan.
It's the only plan that doesn't get people killed. Now shut up and follow orders.
Maya moved through the door like smoke.
The interior was dimly lit, stairs leading up to the transmission equipment. She heard voices above. Sergeant Mitchell. And someone else, speaking Pashto. Khan's people were already here. Maya climbed the stairs without sound, a skill learned during close-quarters training, where instructors threw flashbangs at students who made noise, and you learned very quickly that silence was survival. At the top, she saw Mitchell at the main console,
And beside him, 2 men in contractor uniforms who were definitely not contractors, based on the way they held their AK-47s.
"How long to activate?" one of them asked in Pashto.
2 minutes, Mitchell replied in the same language. I just need to sync the final amplifier. Maya had 2 minutes to stop 3 armed men from activating a system that would turn the base's defenses into a slaughterhouse. She was outnumbered, outgunned, and operating alone. So she did what SEALs do. She adapted. "Sergeant Mitchell," Maya said loudly, stepping into view with her weapon up. "Step away from the console." All 3 men spun. The contractors raised their rifles. Mitchell's hand moved toward the console. "Touch that keyboard, and I put a round through your hand," Maya said calmly. "Then through your head. I'm trained to make that shot, and you know it." Mitchell froze. "Who are you?" "Lieutenant Commander Maya Rivers, and you're under arrest for treason, collaboration with enemy forces, and attempted murder of 300 American personnel." One of the contractors laughed. "You're 1 woman with a pistol. We're 3 men with rifles. Do the math, girl." Maya's response was delivered without emotion. "I'm a Navy SEAL, with 47 confirmed kills across 4 deployments. You're Taliban fighters who think rifles make you dangerous. I've killed men better armed and better trained than you without breaking a sweat. Drop your weapons, or find out what happens when ego meets training." The contractors hesitated. That was their mistake. Marcus Cole burst through the door behind Maya, his M4 rifle up. "She's got backup. Drop 'em, now." 2 guns against 3. Better odds, but still not good. The first contractor made his decision. He swung his rifle toward Maya. She fired twice, both rounds center mass before his barrel was even level. He dropped. The second contractor aimed at Marcus. Maya pivoted, put 3 rounds into him before he could fire. He fell. Mitchell lunged for the console. Maya crossed the room in 3 steps, grabbed his wrist, twisted it back until bones creaked, and drove him to the floor. His face hit concrete hard enough to split his lip. "Don't move." Marcus secured Mitchell with zip ties while Maya checked the console. The activation sequence was loaded, ready to transmit. 1 keystroke from turning the base's automated defenses into weapons against their own people. "How close were we?" Marcus asked. Maya looked at the screen. The countdown timer showed 15 seconds remaining before automatic activation. "Close enough." She pulled the power cord. The system died. The attack was stopped. 300 lives saved by 15 seconds, and 1 woman who'd refused to let assumptions about her age and gender define her capability. Marcus stared at her. "You just killed 2 men without hesitation." "I did my job." "That's not normal. That level of accuracy under stress is what happens when you train harder than everyone else, because you have to be twice as good to get half the respect." Maya turned to face him. "You pushed me to the ground because you saw a young woman in civilian clothes and assumed I was helpless. Those contractors aimed at me because they saw a girl with a pistol and assumed I was an easy target.
Sergeant Mitchell betrayed this base because he assumed he was smarter than everyone. Every single assumption was wrong, and people died because of it. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "I'm sorry for pushing you, for assuming, for judging me by what you saw instead of what I could do. I know, I've heard it my entire career." "How did you become a SEAL at 22? "By starting training at 19. By being so good, they couldn't deny me even when they wanted to. By earning my trident through the same hell week everyone else suffers through.
By proving that gender is irrelevant when bullets are flying." Radio chatter erupted from Marcus's kit. Hayes's voice. "All units, be advised. Attack has been neutralized. Enemy forces withdrawing. How copy?" Marcus keyed his mic. "TOC, this is Cole. Communications tower secure. Infiltrator in custody. Commander Rivers stopped the activation. 300 lives saved." A pause. Then Hayes's voice, different now, carrying weight. "Tell Commander Rivers she has my thanks, and my apology for doubting her." Maya took Marcus's radio. "Major Hayes, I need immediate interrogation authority for Sergeant Mitchell. He knows Khan's full network. We can roll up the entire operation if we move fast." "Granted. And Commander, for what it's worth, I'm sorry I looked at you and saw age and gender instead of capability." "Sir, with respect, I don't need your apology. I need you to remember this moment the next time you meet someone who doesn't fit your expectations. Because assumptions kill every single time." She handed the radio back to Marcus and headed for the stairs. Behind her, Marcus was processing everything he'd just witnessed. The speed, the accuracy, the absolute certainty of someone who'd proven herself so many times that doubt was no longer possible. "Commander," he called after her, "for what it's worth, I've been a Marine for 12 years. I've served with some of the best operators in the Corps. And what you just did? That was the most professional, precise tactical response I've ever seen." Maya stopped, looked back at him. "Staff Sergeant, in about 6 hours, you're going to be brought up on charges for assaulting a superior officer. Your career will be on the line. And I'm going to be the one who determines whether you face court-martial or get a second chance." She let that sink in. Use the next 6 hours to think about why you made the assumptions you did. Not to prepare a defense, but to genuinely understand your own prejudices. Because the next time you see someone who doesn't fit the mold, I want you to remember that the mold is the problem, not the person. She left him standing there, walked out of the communications tower into chaos that was starting to organize itself into order. The attack was over. Khan's network was exposed, and Maya Rivers had just saved 300 lives, while simultaneously teaching an entire base that appearance means nothing. But the cost of constantly proving herself was wearing on her. Every mission, every deployment, every single time she walked into a room and watched people calculate her worth based on what they saw instead of what she'd done. She thought about her father, Commander James Rivers, dead when she was 12. Killed in Iraq because his commanding officer had ignored his intelligence about an ambush. Killed because ego had overridden expertise. Her father's last words to her, spoken from a hospital bed, with machines keeping him alive just long enough to say goodbye. "Maya, the world will doubt you, for being young, for being female, for being different. Prove them wrong not with anger, but with excellence. And remember, ego is the enemy. The moment someone thinks they know everything is the moment they get people killed." She built her entire life around that philosophy. Joined the Naval Academy at 16 through a special program for prodigies. Graduated top of her class at 19. Survived SEAL training at 20. One of only 7 women to ever earn the trident. Made commander at 22. And still
Still, people looked at her and saw only what she wasn't. Dr. Rachel Kim found her an hour later, sitting alone in the medical tent where the 2 contractors Maya had killed were being processed for body bags. Rachel was the base's trauma surgeon, 38, Korean American, and one of the few people on FOB Phoenix who'd actually read Maya's service record. "You did good today," Rachel said, sitting beside her. "I killed 2 men. 2 men who were about to kill 300. That's not the same as murder. That's war. Doesn't make it easier. It's not supposed to be easy. The moment killing becomes easy is the moment you stop being human." Rachel paused. "I heard what happened with Staff Sergeant Cole." Word travels fast. "He's been going around telling everyone who'll listen that he made the biggest mistake of his career, that he judged you based on appearance and almost cost lives because of it." "Good. Maybe he'll learn." "Maybe he already has." Rachel pulled out a tablet, showed Maya something. "He filed a formal incident report, turned himself in for assault on a superior officer, recommended his own court-martial, said he deserved it." Maya read the report. It was thorough, honest, self-aware in a way that most people never managed. Marcus Cole had genuinely understood his mistake and was willing to accept consequences. "What are you going to do?" Rachel asked. "I don't know yet." But she did know. She knew that Marcus Cole had committed assault based on prejudice. But she also knew that in the communications tower, when the bullets started flying, he'd had her back without hesitation. That counted for something. The question was whether it counted for enough. The interrogation room smelled like sweat and failure. Sergeant Darren Mitchell sat cuffed to a metal chair, his split lip still bleeding from where Maya had driven his face into the concrete. He looked at her with a mix of fear and defiance that told Maya everything she needed to know about his training. Amateur. Khan had recruited him for access, not skill. "You made a mistake," Maya said, sitting across from him. Marcus stood by the door, silent, observing. "You thought betraying your country would make you rich. Thought Khan would pay you, and you'd disappear somewhere the U.S. couldn't touch you. But you're not smart enough to disappear, and Khan's not loyal enough to protect you." "I want a lawyer," Mitchell said. "You'll get one, eventually, after you tell me everything about Khan's network, his locations, his contacts, his plans." "I'm not telling you anything." Maya leaned back. "That's fine. We have your laptop, your phone, your encrypted communications. Our analysts are cracking your security right now. We'll have everything in about 6 hours. But here's the thing, Sergeant. In 6 hours, Khan will know his operation is compromised. He'll disappear. And the 47 Americans he's killed won't get justice. Their families won't get closure. All because you wanted to protect a man who sees you as disposable." Mitchell's jaw tightened. "You don't understand. Khan's not what? Not a terrorist? Not a murderer? Not someone who'd kill you the second you became inconvenient?" Maya pulled out her tablet, showed him a photo. "This is Ahmed Rashidi. He worked for Khan, helped him plan attacks. Then Khan suspected he might talk to American intelligence. They found Ahmed in pieces outside Kandahar. Literally, in pieces." Mitchell went pale. "You think you're different?" Maya continued. "You think Khan values you? You're a tool. And when tools break, they get thrown away. But if you cooperate now, you get a chance. Reduced sentence, protection, maybe even a future. Depends on how useful you are in the next 5 minutes." Mitchell was quiet for a long time. Then, "What do you want to know?" "Everything, starting with where Khan is right now." "I don't know. He never tells us his location. We communicate through encrypted channels. When did you last hear from him? 20 minutes ago.
Right before you came into the communications tower. Maya felt ice in her veins.
What did he say?
That the activation failed, that the backup plan was in motion. Mitchell looked up at her. Commander, you stopped the defense grid from turning against you. But that was never Khan's primary objective. It was a test. To see if your security could be compromised. The real attack hasn't started yet. Marcus spoke from the door. What real attack? Khan's been planning this for 18 months. The grid activation was phase 1. If it worked, great. 300 Americans die, and he proves he can weaponize U.S. technology. If it failed, it tells him something equally valuable. That someone's been tracking him. Someone's infiltrated his network. Someone knows his patterns. Maya's blood ran cold. He knows about me. He's known for weeks. Figured out you weren't really a British journalist. Let you keep gathering intelligence because it served his purpose. He wanted to know how good U.S. intelligence actually is. Wanted to see the face of whoever was hunting him. Mitchell smiled without humor. And now he knows. 22-year-old female SEAL commander, youngest in history. High-value target. He's coming for her, Marcus said. He's already here, on the base. Has been for 3 days. The room went silent. That's impossible, Maya said. We control access. Every contractor is vetted. Khan doesn't need vetting. He forged credentials 2 years ago under a different name. Been working as a contractor at 12 different U.S. bases across Afghanistan. Gathering intelligence, planting assets, planning attacks. Mitchell leaned forward. He's on this base right now. Probably watching you. Waiting for his moment. Maya was on her feet. Marcus, lock this down. Nobody leaves, nobody enters. Full security sweep. She bolted from the room, Marcus right behind her. They sprinted toward the TOC. Her mind was racing through calculations. If Khan was on base, where would he be? What would he target? Not the ammunition depot, too obvious. Not the command center, too defended. Then what? They burst into the TOC. Major Hayes looked up. Commander, we've secured the perimeter. No enemy forces detected. The attack seems to have... It's not over, Maya interrupted. Khan's on the base. Been here for days. Mitchell just confirmed it. Hayes' expression went from relief to horror. That's impossible. We vet every contractor. He used forged credentials. Military-grade forgeries that passed your vetting. Maya grabbed a tablet, pulled up contractor lists. How many local nationals are working on base right now? Hayes called to his XO. Harrison, get me a full roster of all contractors currently on base. 83 contractors, sir. Mostly maintenance, logistics, translation services. Pull photos. Run them against intelligence databases. Focus on anyone who's been here less than 6 months. While Hayes' team worked, Maya's phone buzzed. Dr. Rachel Kim. Urgent. Commander, you need to come to the medical tent. Now. Something's wrong. Maya and Marcus ran. The medical tent was in chaos. Rachel met them at the entrance, her expression grim. The 2 contractors you killed. I was processing their bodies for transport. Found something. She pulled them into the morgue area, showed them one of the bodies. Look at this tattoo. On the dead man's shoulder was a symbol, 3 crescents arranged in a triangle. That's Khan's signature, Maya said. He marks his most trusted operatives with it. There's more. Rachel turned the body, showed them scarring on the back. These are surgical scars, recent, within the last 6 months. Someone operated on this man, removed something, or implanted something. Marcus understood first. Tracking device. Khan marks his people so he can monitor them. If one of them gets captured or killed, he knows immediately. Which means Khan knows his men are dead, Maya said. Knows the communications tower operation failed. Knows we're actively hunting him. So why hasn't he run? Rachel asked. Because he's not done yet. Maya pulled out her phone, called Hayes. Major, what's the most valuable asset on this base right now? What would Khan target if he wanted maximum impact? Hayes was quiet for a moment. The intelligence cache. We just received classified documents about upcoming operations across the theater. Troop movements, target locations, planned raids. If Khan gets that information and transmits it to Taliban leadership, where's the cache? Secure room, Building 3. 2 guards, biometric lock, no windows. Impossible to breach. Nothing's impossible if you're patient and smart. And Khan is both. Maya looked at Marcus. How long would it take to reach Building 3 from here? 2 minutes at a run. Then we run. They ran. Building 3 was on the far side of the compound, a squat concrete structure designed to resist everything from mortar fire to tactical nukes. As they approached, Maya saw something wrong. The 2 guards who should have been at the door were gone. Where are your guards? Maya asked into her radio. Hayes' voice came back confused. They're at their post. I'm looking at the security feed right now. I'm standing at Building 3. There are no guards here. That's impossible. The feed shows... Hayes stopped. He hacked the security system. We're looking at loop footage. The guards could have been gone for hours. Maya tried the door. Locked. Biometric scanner showed green. Someone with authorization had already entered. We breach, Marcus said, pulling breaching charges from his kit. No. Blow the door and we alert Khan. He destroys the intelligence and disappears. Maya examined the biometric scanner. He used someone's credentials. Someone with legitimate access. Which means... Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Commander Rivers? The voice was male, accented, calm. My name is Rashid Khan. I believe you've been looking for me. Maya's hand tightened on the phone. Marcus was gesturing frantically, but she waved him off. Khan, you made a mistake coming to this base. Did I? I've been here 3 days, walked past you twice. You looked right at me and saw nothing but a contractor carrying supplies. Khan's voice carried amusement. You're very good, Commander. 6 months embedded in my network. Impressive. Your Pashto is nearly flawless. Your cover story was believable. You almost fooled everyone. Almost? I've been hunting American intelligence officers for 15 years. I know the signs, the small tells, the questions that are just slightly too specific. You were very good. But I'm better. If you're so much better, why are you running? Why not face me? Who says I'm running? I'm standing in your intelligence cache right now, looking at classified documents about next week's raid on my compound in Helmand Province. Fascinating reading. 27 operators, 3 helicopters, timed for 0300 hours. But now that I know the plan, I can be somewhere else. And the Americans who come for me will find an ambush instead. Maya's mind raced. What do you want? I want you to understand something, Commander. You think you won today, stopped my attack, saved your base, captured my operative. But that's not victory. That's me teaching you a lesson. What lesson? That I can reach you anywhere. That your technology means nothing. That your training means nothing. That your rank and your youth and your gender make you exactly what I thought. A symbol for American propaganda. Pretty face, impressive credentials, no real substance. Khan's voice went colder. I'm going to destroy you, Commander Rivers. Not today, not next week, but eventually. I'll wait for the perfect moment. The mission where you're overconfident. where you make one small mistake. And then I'll kill everyone you're responsible for. Your team, your unit, everyone. And I'll make sure you survive. Make sure you live with that failure. That's the real victory. Big talk from a man who's been running from me for 6 months. Running? Commander, I've been letting you chase me, studying you, learning your patterns, understanding your training. Every time you thought you were hunting me, I was hunting you. Khan paused. But this conversation has gone on long enough. I've transmitted the intelligence to my network. Your mission is compromised. Your raid is cancelled. Your men are safe because they won't be deployed. You're welcome. Khan! The line died. Maya immediately called Hayes. The intelligence cache is compromised. Khan's transmitted classified information about the Helmand raid. You need to cancel the operation and change all parameters. Already on it. But Commander, we have a bigger problem. We just found the 2 guards. They're dead. Throats cut. Professional work. Where? Supply closet, 20 meters from Building 3. Killed sometime in the last 2 hours, while we were dealing with the attack. Khan must have... Gunfire erupted. Close. From the direction of the main gate. All units, we have a breach! Hayes' voice over the radio. Multiple hostiles at the south perimeter. RPGs, machine guns. This is the real attack. Maya and Marcus ran toward the sound. The base was under assault. Serious assault. Not the feint from earlier, but a full coordinated attack with heavy weapons. How did they get close enough? Marcus shouted over the gunfire. They were already close. Khan's been positioning his force all day while we were distracted. Maya grabbed her radio. Major Hayes, this is Commander Rivers. Khan's using the intelligence breach as cover for his real objective. He's not here for documents. He's here for me. Say again? I'm the target. Everything else was misdirection. He wants to capture or kill a SEAL commander on your base. The propaganda value alone. An explosion cut her off. The TOC. Someone had hit the TOC with an RPG. Hayes! Maya screamed into the radio. Hayes, respond! Static. Then a weak voice. TOC is hit. Multiple casualties. Hayes is down. This is Major Harrison assuming command. All units defend in place. Do not let hostiles reach the command center. Marcus grabbed Maya's arm. We need to get you off this base. If Khan's really after you... I'm not running. That's not bravery. That's suicide. If Khan captures you, then he captures me. But I'm not abandoning 300 people because I'm scared. Maya pulled free. I'm going to the TOC. Hayes is wounded. They need medical support. You're insane. I'm a SEAL. Same thing. They ran through gunfire. Bullets kicked up gravel around them. An RPG screamed overhead, detonated against a barrier. The base was being torn apart. When they reached the TOC, it was carnage. The RPG had hit near the entrance, collapsing part of the structure. Hayes was on the ground, unconscious, his leg twisted at a wrong angle. Major Harrison was trying to coordinate defense while bleeding from his scalp. Commander Rivers, Harrison said with visible relief. Thank God. Hayes is critical. We need him evacuated, but medevac can't land in this fire. Maya knelt beside Hayes, checked his vitals. Alive, but fading. The leg was bad. Compound fracture. He'd need surgery within the hour, or lose it. Get me Dr. Kim, Maya ordered, and someone who can stabilize this leg long enough to move him. Rachel appeared like magic. I heard. Let me work. While Rachel stabilized Hayes, Maya took over tactical coordination. It felt wrong. She was a SEAL, not a Marine, and these weren't her people. But leadership was leadership. Rank was rank. And bullets didn't care about inter-service rivalry. All units, this is Commander Rivers. Establish defensive perimeter at grid coordinates 347-889. Fall back to reinforce positions. Do not engage in open combat. Make them come to you. Marcus was beside her, coordinating Marine units who actually knew him. Weapons squad, set up fields of fire on the southern approach. Engineering, I need obstacles at... Another explosion. Closer. The building shook. They're pushing hard, Rachel said, without looking up from Hayes. Khan really wants this base. Khan wants me, Maya corrected. The base is collateral damage. A radio operator called out. Commander, we have an incoming transmission. Someone claiming to be Khan, asking for you specifically. Maya took the handset. This is Rivers. Commander, you're still alive. Impressive. Khan sounded genuinely pleased. Your defense is better than I anticipated, but it's ultimately futile. I have 200 men. You have maybe 250 operational personnel after casualties. You're outnumbered, and I have the initiative. Then why are you talking instead of fighting? Because I'm offering you a deal. You surrender. Walk out the main gate with your hands up. I'll video your capture, take you alive, and withdraw my forces. Your base survives. Your people survive. You become a prisoner, but everyone else goes home. And if I refuse, I kill everyone, burn this base to the ground, make it a monument to American failure. Your choice, Commander. Your pride or their lives. Maya looked around the TOC, at Hayes, bleeding on the floor, at Harrison, coordinating defense despite his wounds, at Marines fighting for their lives because Khan wanted propaganda. I need 5 minutes to consider. You have 2. The line went dead. Marcus understood immediately. You're not actually considering this. I'm considering how to use his offer against him. There's no angle here. If you surrender, we lose. If you refuse, he attacks harder. Unless I make him think I'm surrendering, while actually setting a trap. Maya turned to Harrison. How fast can you reposition your best shooters to the main gate area? 3 minutes if we pull them from the perimeter. Do it. Snipers, heavy weapons, everyone you've got. I'm going to walk toward the gate. Khan will focus his forces on capturing me. When he commits, you hit him with everything. That's a suicide plan, Rachel said flatly. It's the only plan that saves lives. Marcus stepped between Maya and the door. No, I'm not letting you walk into capture. You don't have a choice. I outrank you. I don't care about rank. I care about... Marcus stopped, seemed to realize what he was about to say. This is insane. Khan could kill you the moment you're outside the gate. He won't. He needs me alive for propaganda. Dead SEAL Commander is a footnote. Captured SEAL Commander, on video, begging for her life, saying American women don't belong in combat? That's a recruiting video for the next decade. Which is exactly why we can't let him have you. Maya met his eyes. Staff Sergeant, 6 hours ago you pushed me to the ground because you thought I was weak. Thought I needed protection. Thought I couldn't handle myself. Now you're doing it again. Different reasons. Same assumption. That I need saving. That's not, it is. And you need to trust that I know what I'm doing. That I've been trained for situations exactly like this. That I'm not walking into capture. I'm walking into combat. And I'm going to win. Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then he stepped aside. If you die, I'm going to be very angry. If I die, you can write a strongly worded letter to my next of kin. Maya checked her sidearm, made sure she had spare magazines, and walked toward the door. Rachel caught her arm. Your father would be proud, Rachel said quietly. You're doing exactly what he taught you.
protecting your people, even when it costs you everything. My father died because someone ignored his intelligence. I'm not repeating his mistakes. No, you're honoring his memory. Maya walked out into the firefight. Bullets sang past her. Explosions lit the night. But she walked steadily toward the main gate, hands empty, showing she wasn't armed for offense. Khan's voice came over a megaphone. "Commander Rivers, walk forward slowly. Any sudden movements, and my snipers fire." Maya kept walking. Behind her, she knew Marcus and Harrison were positioning their forces. Knew snipers were setting up. Knew that in about 90 seconds, this was going to turn into the biggest firefight FOB Phoenix had ever seen. She was 20 meters from the gate when she saw him. Khan, standing just outside the wire, exactly as she'd expected. Because ego was predictable, because men like Khan always had to see their victories firsthand. "You came," Khan said. "I'm impressed. Most American officers would have hidden behind their rank." "I'm not most officers." "No, you're 22 years old. You've been a SEAL for 2 years. You've killed 47 men in combat. Your father died when you were 12. You joined the military to honor his memory. And you've spent your entire career proving that a woman can do everything a man can do." Khan smiled. "I know everything about you, Commander." "Then you know I'm not here to surrender." "No?" "I'm here to kill you." Maya drew and fired in one motion. 3 rounds, all center mass, all perfect shots, all hitting the ballistic vest Khan was wearing. He staggered, but didn't fall. His men opened fire. Maya dove behind a concrete barrier as bullets shredded the air where she'd been standing. And behind her, every weapon on FOB Phoenix opened up simultaneously. The trap was sprung. Khan's forces, focused on capturing Maya, were caught in a devastating crossfire. Marines who'd repositioned under Harrison's coordination hit them from 3 sides. The ammunition depot, the TOC, the command center, all still functional, all pouring fire into Khan's attack force. But Khan was already moving, already retreating, his men covering his withdrawal. Maya chased, bullets or no bullets, fire or no fire. She'd been hunting this man for 6 months, and he was not getting away. Marcus was beside her suddenly. "You're insane." "I'm motivated." They chased Khan through the compound. He was fast, trained, but Maya was faster. She'd run marathons carrying 80 pounds of gear, had completed Hell Week when instructors tried to break her by making it harder than any man's course. She could chase this man forever if she had to. Khan reached a vehicle near the perimeter, one of the contractor trucks he'd used to move freely around the base. He was getting away. Maya raised her weapon. Impossible shot, moving target, poor lighting, 200 yards. She fired anyway. 5 rounds. 1 hit. Shattered the truck's rear window. Khan ducked, lost precious seconds. Marcus caught up, fired his M4. The truck's tire exploded. Khan bailed out, ran for the perimeter fence. Bullets chased him, but he was through, disappearing into the darkness beyond the base. Gone. Maya stood at the fence, breathing hard, bleeding from a dozen minor wounds she didn't remember taking, and watched the man she'd hunted for 6 months escape. "We'll get him," Marcus said. "This isn't over." "No," Maya agreed. "It's just beginning." Because Khan had made one critical mistake. He'd shown himself, let his ego draw him to the base personally, and in doing so, he'd proven that he was human, fallible, vulnerable. "He could have killed me," Maya said quietly. "At the gate. Could have shot me instead of trying to capture me." But he wanted the propaganda win more than he wanted me dead. That's his weakness. Ego.
Same weakness that made me push you this morning. Yeah, but you learn from it. Khan won't, which is how we're going to beat him. They walked back to the TOC. The battle was winding down. Khan's forces were in retreat, leaving behind dozens of casualties and captured fighters. Major Hayes was conscious, being loaded onto a medevac that had finally been able to land. He saw Maya and managed a weak smile. "Commander, heard you walked into enemy fire to set a trap." "Someone had to." "That was either the bravest or dumbest thing I've seen in 30 years of service." "Why not both?" Hayes actually laughed, then winced at the pain. "Rivers, when this is over, I'm recommending you for the Silver Star, and I'm writing a formal apology for doubting you. You saved this base, saved my life, saved 300 Marines who wouldn't be alive without you." "Just doing my job, sir." "No, you went way beyond your job, and I won't forget it." The medevac lifted off. Maya watched it go, feeling the adrenaline finally crash, leaving behind exhaustion so profound she could barely stand. Rachel caught her arm. "You're wounded. Multiple lacerations, possible concussion. Your shoulder's dislocated." "I'm fine." "You're a terrible liar. Come to the medical tent, now." While Rachel patched her up, dislocated shoulder reduced, cuts cleaned and stitched, concussion assessed and monitored, Maya let herself feel the weight of what had happened. She'd stopped an attack, saved lives, proven herself yet again. But at what cost? She thought about Khan's words, about being a symbol, about propaganda, about the reality that no matter how many times she proved herself, there would always be someone new who needed convincing. Marcus appeared in the medical tent, his own wounds bandaged. "Commander, I need to say something." "You don't need to apologize again." "It's not an apology, it's an acknowledgement." Marcus sat down heavily. "This morning, I pushed you because I saw a young woman and assumed she needed protection. Tonight, I watched you walk into enemy fire to save 300 men who should have been protecting you. I watched you hunt a terrorist through a firefight. I watched you make an impossible shot that saved lives. And I realized something." "What's that?" "That I've been a Marine for 12 years, and I've never served with anyone as brave or as skilled as you. And it has nothing to do with gender or age. It's just who you are. A warrior. A leader. Someone who embodies everything the military is supposed to be." He paused. "So this isn't an apology. It's a promise. I will never judge someone by their appearance again. And I will spend the rest of my career making sure other Marines learn what you taught me today." Maya looked at him, saw genuine transformation in his eyes, and felt something shift. "Staff Sergeant, I'm not pressing charges. You made a mistake based on cultural conditioning. You learned from it. That's all I wanted." "Thank you, Commander. But if you ever push a superior officer again, I'll make you wish Khan had captured you instead." Marcus almost smiled. "Understood." As he left, Rachel sat beside Maya. "You know this isn't over, right? Khan's alive. He's going to keep coming for you." "Let him come. Next time, I'll be ready." "You were ready this time. He still nearly won." "Nearly isn't the same as winning." But Maya knew Rachel was right. Khan was alive. His network was damaged, but not destroyed. And he'd proven he could reach her anywhere. The war wasn't over. It was just getting personal. 3 hours after Khan's escape, Maya was supposed to be resting. Instead, she was in the intelligence center with Sergeant Mitchell's laptop, cracking his encrypted files, while her dislocated shoulder screamed protest
every time she moved. "You should be in bed," Marcus said from the doorway. "I should be hunting Khan. This is the compromise. Dr. Kim's going to kill you. Rachel will forgive me after we catch Khan." Maya pulled up another encrypted folder. Mitchell kept detailed records, locations, contacts, operational timelines. Khan thought he was careful, but he trusted the wrong person. Marcus pulled up a chair. "What have you found?" "Khan's not just planning attacks. He's building something bigger. A network that spans 6 countries, cells in Pakistan, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and Afghanistan. All coordinated, all waiting for a signal." "Signal for what?" "Simultaneous attacks on U.S. targets across the Middle East. 27 bases, 43 embassies, 62 soft targets, all hit within a 12-hour window." Maya showed him the plans. "Khan's not just a terrorist. He's orchestrating the largest coordinated attack since 9/11. Marcus's face went pale. "When?" 2 weeks, give or take. The timeline's flexible, based on operational readiness.
Maya pulled up more files. But here's the interesting part. Khan needs something to activate his network. A trigger event. Something that proves Western forces are vulnerable. Like successfully capturing a SEAL commander. Exactly. I wasn't just a propaganda target. I was the trigger. If he'd captured me tonight, broadcast my surrender, it would have energized his entire network. Proven that America's best operators can be beaten. Maya leaned back, wincing as her shoulder protested. I was the key to his whole operation. And now that he failed? Now he needs a new trigger, which means he'll try again. Different approach, different target, but same objective. Marcus was quiet for a moment. You're not the target anymore. The entire command structure is. He'll go after generals, admirals, anyone whose capture would have symbolic value. Or he'll go after something else, something that hurts more than capturing one person. Maya pulled up a map showing Khan's network. What's the most valuable intelligence asset we have in Afghanistan right now? Marcus understood immediately. Task Force Phantom, the JSOC unit tracking high-value targets. They've killed or captured 40 Taliban commanders in 6 months. Where are they based? Classified. Even I don't know. Khan knows. Maya pointed to a file on Mitchell's laptop. He's been tracking them for 3 months. Has their location, their operational patterns, their team composition. And he's planning to hit them in 72 hours. That's suicide. Task Force Phantom is the most elite unit in theater. Trying to assault their base. He's not assaulting their base. He's ambushing them on a mission. They're planning to raid a compound in Helmand Province. Same raid I gave them intelligence about. Same raid Khan knows is coming, because I told him during our phone call. Marcus swore. You were trying to make him think he'd won. Make him confident. And in doing so, I gave him actionable intelligence about our most valuable asset. If Khan ambushes Task Force Phantom, if he kills or captures a dozen JSOC operators, that's his new trigger. That's what activates his network. Maya was already on the phone. I need to speak with JSOC Command. Authorization code Delta 77 Alpha. This is Commander Rivers. We have actionable intelligence about a threat to Task Force Phantom. It took 6 minutes to reach someone with authority to listen. Commander Sarah Chen, JSOC Operations Officer, sounded skeptical until Maya laid out everything she knew. Commander Rivers, Task Force Phantom's operational security is airtight. Khan can't know their location or mission parameters. He does. I'm looking at his files right now. He has your team composition, your planned raid timeline, your extraction coordinates. Everything. Chen was quiet. That's impossible. Those files are compartmentalized.
Only 5 people have access.
Then one of those 5 people is compromised. Or Khan has penetrated your security at a level you haven't detected yet. Maya pulled up another file. Commander Chen, he knows your team leader's name, knows your operators' backgrounds, knows your canine handler uses a Belgian Malinois named Odin. This isn't guesswork. This is detailed intelligence. Send me the files, encrypted. I'll verify and respond within the hour. Maya transmitted everything. 67 megabytes of encrypted intelligence that proved Khan's network was deeper and more sophisticated than anyone had realized. While they waited for Chen's response, Rachel appeared with medications and a stern expression. You were supposed to be resting. I was working. Same thing in your world. Rachel checked Maya's vitals, examined her shoulder. You're going to cause permanent damage if you don't let this heal properly. I'll heal after we stop Khan. Maya, you're 22 years old. You have a 40-year military career ahead of you if you don't destroy your body before you're 30. 40 years doesn't matter if Khan succeeds and kills thousands of Americans. Rachel sat down heavily. You know what your problem is? You think you're invincible. Think you have to carry everything alone. But you're human. You bleed. You break. And eventually, if you keep pushing this hard, you'll push past the point where your body can recover. My father died because someone didn't push hard enough, didn't fight hard enough, didn't care enough to prevent disaster. Maya met Rachel's eyes. I'm not making his mistake. Your father died because a commanding officer's ego overrode good intelligence. That's not about effort. That's about leadership failure. Then I'll be better, lead better, fight harder. You'll burn out, and when you do, people will die because you're too exhausted to make good decisions. Before Maya could respond, her phone rang. Chen. Commander Rivers, I verified your intelligence. It's accurate. Horrifyingly accurate. We're scrubbing the Hellman mission and launching a full security audit to determine how Khan obtained this information. What about the ambush? Khan's positioning his forces based on the mission he thinks you're running. If you change parameters, he might realize he's been compromised and disappear. Are you suggesting we run the mission as planned and walk into his trap? I'm suggesting we use his trap against him. Run the mission with modifications. Make Khan think he's ambushing you while actually ambushing him. He's expecting 12 operators. Send 24. He's expecting helicopters. Use ground vehicles for primary insertion. He thinks you're hitting at 0300. Hit at 0200. Chen was quiet, thinking. That's risky. If Khan adapts, if he's smarter than we think... He's smart, but he's also arrogant. Ego is his weakness. He thinks he's always 3 steps ahead. Prove him wrong. I'll need approval from higher, but Commander, if we do this, I want you on the mission. You know Khan's patterns better than anyone. You've been tracking him for 6 months. I'm assigned to FOB Phoenix. I'm reassigning you effective immediately. JSOC authorization. You're attached to Task Force Phantom as Mission Intelligence Officer. Report to our base in 6 hours. The line went dead. Marcus was staring at her. You're going into the field with JSOC's most elite unit to ambush the terrorist who's been trying to kill you. While wounded, with a dislocated shoulder. That about sums it up. You're insane. I'm motivated. There's a difference. Rachel threw up her hands. Fine. If you're going to be stupid, at least let me make sure you don't die from your injuries before Khan gets the chance to kill you. She spent the next hour stabilizing Maya's shoulder with a specialized brace, administering pain medications that wouldn't impair judgment, and teaching her how to compensate for reduced mobility. You're going to hate yourself in about 3 days, when the adrenaline wears off and you realize what you've done to your body, Rachel said. I'll hate myself more if I let Khan succeed. Marcus insisted on accompanying her to the Task Force Phantom base. You're not going alone. I'm requesting temporary assignment to JSOC operations. You're a Marine. They're not going to. I'm a Marine who saved your life twice today, who helped stop Khan's attack, who has first-hand experience with his tactics. They'd be stupid not to use me. He was right. When they arrived at the Phantom Base, a classified location 90 minutes south of FOB Phoenix, Commander Chen greeted them both. Staff Sergeant Cole, Commander Rivers spoke highly of you. Welcome to Task Force Phantom. We can use someone with your ground combat experience. Chen was 40, half Chinese, with the kind of efficiency that came from running the most successful JSOC unit in theater. She led them through the base, briefing them on the mission as they walked. The original target was a compound in Helmand, where we believed a Taliban commander named Aziz Mahmoud was coordinating attacks. Intelligence suggested he was Khan's second-in-command. The raid was meant to capture him and exploit his intelligence value. But now you know it's a trap, Maya said. Now we know Khan expects us, which changes everything. The compound is still valuable. Mahmoud is still there. But Khan has surrounded it with at least 50 fighters positioned to ambush us. So we ambush the ambush. Exactly. But there's a complication. Chen pulled up a satellite photo. The compound has civilians, women and children, family members of the fighters. Khan knows we won't risk civilian casualties. He's using them as insurance. Maya studied the photo. How many civilians? Thermal imaging shows at least 20, maybe more, all in the main building where Mahmoud is holed up. Then we can't use explosives, can't use heavy weapons. Have to go in soft and extract Mahmoud without harming innocents. Which is exactly what Khan expects. He's positioned his ambush force to hit us when we're focused on precision extraction. Maximum vulnerability. Marcus spoke up. What if we don't extract Mahmoud? Both women looked at him. Hear me out. Khan expects you to raid the compound, extract Mahmoud, be vulnerable during the extraction. What if instead you make Khan think the raid failed? Make him think you aborted because of the civilian presence. He'll think he won, think his trap worked. Then you hit him when his guard is down. Chen's expression showed interest. You're suggesting we fake a mission abort? And use the abort to draw Khan into the open. He'll want to see his victory, want to confirm you left. That's when you hit him. Maya understood the brilliance immediately. Khan's ego won't let him stay hidden if he thinks he's won. He'll want to see the compound, confirm we're gone, savor his victory. And when he does, we kill or capture him and roll up his entire network, Chen finished. Staff Sergeant, that's actually tactical genius. Don't sound so surprised, ma'am. I'm not. I'm impressed. Chen pulled up a tactical map. We'll need to stage the abort convincingly. Make it look like we detected the ambush and withdrew to avoid casualties. Then maintain overwatch. Wait for Khan to reveal himself. How long could that take? Maya asked. Hours. Maybe days. Khan's patient. We don't have days. His network activates in 2 weeks. We need him now. Then we force his hand. Make him think the opportunity is fleeting. Make him choose between caution and ego. Chen called her team leaders. Lieutenant Reyes, Master Chief Blackwood, Lieutenant Walsh, mission briefing in 10 minutes. We're changing the plan. Over the next 2 hours, they refined the strategy. Task Force Phantom would insert via helicopters, approach the compound, detect the ambush through staged reconnaissance, and abort loudly enough for Khan's force to hear. They'd withdraw, but leave behind surveillance drones and sniper teams in deep concealment. When Khan emerged to claim his victory, they'd have him. One problem, Master Chief Garrett Blackwood said. He was 58, impossibly old for special operations, but his reputation was legendary. Khan's not stupid. If we abort too easily, he'll suspect. We need to make it cost us something. Make the abort look reluctant.
What are you suggesting? Chen asked. Someone gets left behind. One operator, separated during the abort. Khan's people capture them. Now we have a reason to pull back. Hostage situation. Don't want to risk their life.
Khan gets a small win, makes him confident. Then, when we come back for the hostage, we take Khan at the same time, Maya finished. Marcus objected immediately. You can't use a real operator as bait. If Khan executes them before we can react, that's the risk, Blackwood agreed, which is why it needs to be someone Khan specifically wants. Someone whose capture matters enough to make the abort credible. Everyone looked at Maya. No, Marcus said flatly. Absolutely not. It makes tactical sense, Maya said quietly. Khan wants me specifically. My capture would be exactly the victory he needs. He'd keep me alive for propaganda. That buys time for extraction. Or he kills you immediately and broadcasts your execution, Rachel said. She'd insisted on coming along as medical support. Khan's not predictable. He might decide your death is more valuable than your capture. Then we make sure he doesn't get the chance to decide. We set the trap perfectly. Make the timeline tight. Extract me before he can consolidate his position. Chen was studying Maya. Commander Rivers, I won't order you to do this, but if you volunteer, I'll authorize it. Your capture would absolutely sell the abort. Khan would believe we left you to save the rest of the team. How long would I be captured? Minimum 2 hours, maximum 6. Depends on how long it takes Khan to show himself. And if he doesn't show? If he sends subordinates? Then we abort the abort. Come in hard, extract you by force, but we lose the chance to capture Khan. Maya thought about her father, about the 47 Americans Khan had killed, about the network that would activate and kill thousands more if they didn't stop him now. I'll do it. Maya, this is insane, Rachel said. You're wounded, exhausted, not in condition for... I'm the only bait Khan will believe. Anyone else, he'll suspect. Me? He'll think it's his destiny, his proof that women can't handle combat. His ego won't let him question it. Marcus grabbed her arm. I can't watch you walk into captivity. I pushed you to the ground this morning. Spent the day watching you prove you're the bravest person I've ever met. I'm not standing by while you get captured deliberately. Then don't stand by. Be on the extraction team. Make sure you get me out. What if we can't? What if something goes wrong? Then you live with it. Same way I've lived with every risk I've ever taken. Maya pulled free. Staff Sergeant, I appreciate the concern, but this is my choice, my mission, my decision. Chen made it official. Commander Rivers volunteers as intentional captive to bait Khan into revealing himself. Extraction timeline not to exceed 6 hours. If Khan doesn't show by then, we extract by force and accept mission failure. Blackwood spoke quietly. Ma'am, I'd like to be on the extraction team. I've known Rivers for exactly 3 hours, but in those 3 hours, I've watched her make decisions most operators couldn't make in a lifetime. She deserves the best extraction team we can give her. Granted, Blackwood leads extraction. Cole, you're on the team too. Walsh, Reyes, you're overwatch and fire support. They spent the next 4 hours rehearsing. Maya practiced being captured, practiced staying calm while zip-tied and hooded, practiced communicating through subtle signals the extraction team could read. It felt wrong. SEALs didn't plan to be captured, didn't rehearse surrender. But this wasn't surrender. This was tactical deception, using the enemy's assumptions against them. At 1:30 hours, they loaded into helicopters. Maya sat between Marcus and Blackwood, both of them radiating protective tension. You don't have to do this, Marcus said for the 10th time. Yes, I do. Why? Why is stopping Khan worth risking your life?
Because he's killed 47 Americans.
Because he's planning to kill thousands more. Because if I don't risk my life to stop him, I'm failing everyone who's counting on me. Maya looked at Marcus. You asked me earlier why I push so hard. This is why. Because the moment I stop pushing, people die. And I can't live with that. Even if pushing kills you? Especially then. Because at least I'll die knowing I tried everything. The helicopters flew low, fast, using terrain to mask their approach. At 01:55 hours, they were 5 minutes from the landing zone. Chen's voice over comms. All teams, final checks. Phantom 1, you're clear to proceed. Phantom 2, hold at overwatch position. Sniper teams, acquire targets and maintain radio silence. The compound appeared below. Thermal imaging showed heat signatures. The civilians clustered in the main building. Fighters positioned around the perimeter. And Khan's ambush force hidden in surrounding structures. They landed hard. Operators poured out, moving toward the compound in tactical formation. Maya was in the middle, protected, looking vulnerable. That was when Khan's ambush sprung early. RPGs streaked from the darkness. Machine gun fire erupted from 3 directions. The abort was supposed to be staged. This was real. Contact! Contact! Taking fire from all sides! Chen's voice was sharp. This isn't the planned ambush. Khan's hitting us before we reach the compound. He changed his timing, Maya shouted. He knew we'd know. Adapted his plan. The team was pinned. Operators returned fire, but they were outnumbered and outpositioned. This was exactly what Khan wanted. Task Force Phantom caught in the open, vulnerable, desperate. Chen made the decision. All teams, withdraw to extraction point. Fall back! Fall back! They retreated under fire. Maya was running with Marcus when the ground beneath her exploded. Not an IED. A buried charge Khan had positioned specifically for this moment. Maya was airborne, then crashing down hard. Her ears rang, her vision blurred. Something was wrong with her legs. Marcus was screaming her name, but she couldn't hear him over the ringing. Hands grabbed her, dragged her toward the helicopters. But more explosions, more fire. The extraction was falling apart. Chen's voice. Leave her! We can't risk the entire team for one operator. The hell we can't! That was Blackwood, refusing orders, covering Maya's position while Marcus picked her up. But it was too late. Khan's fighters were on them, surrounding them. Too many to fight through. Marcus set Maya down, stood over her with his rifle. I'm not leaving you. Marcus, go! Save yourself! Not happening. Blackwood was beside them. Kid, you're going to get us all killed. Then we die, but we die together. Khan's voice cut through the chaos, speaking English over a megaphone. Commander Ribas, Staff Sergeant Cole, Master Chief Blackwood, surrender now, or my fighters kill every single one of your teammates. Your choice, them or you. Maya looked at the helicopters. Operators were pinned, taking casualties. Chen was screaming for them to withdraw, but they couldn't, not while 3 of their people were captured. Chen, Maya shouted into her radio. Pull back. That's an order. Save the team. I don't leave people behind. You do today. Khan wants me. Give him what he wants. Save everyone else. A terrible silence. Then Chen's voice, breaking. Phantom 1, withdraw to secondary extraction. Phantom 2, cover their movement. All sniper teams, maintain overwatch on Commander Rivers' position. The helicopters lifted off. Operators fell back. And Maya, Marcus, and Blackwood were alone with 50 Taliban fighters,
and Rashid Khan finally stepping into view. He looked exactly like his photos. Mid-40s, graying beard, eyes that had seen too much death and delivered more. He walked toward them with absolute confidence.
Commander Rivers, we meet at last, face to face. No more phone calls, no more games. Khan gestured to his fighters. Secure them and prepare for broadcast. The world is about to see what happens to American warriors who challenge the faithful. They were zip-tied, hooded, dragged into a vehicle. Maya's last conscious thought before they threw her in the back was that the trap had worked, just not the way they'd planned. Now they were Khan's prisoners, and the extraction that was supposed to take 6 hours had exactly 2 before Khan would start executing them on camera. The clock was ticking, and Maya had just bet 3 lives, including her own, that Chen could pull off a miracle. The hood came off and Maya's eyes adjusted to harsh LED light. They were in a basement. Concrete walls, no windows. The smell of mold and old blood. Khan stood in front of her with a camera on a tripod behind him. Commander Rivers, 22 years old. Youngest SEAL commander in history. Daughter of Commander James Rivers, who died in Iraq when you were 12. Khan's voice was conversational, almost friendly. You've been hunting me for 6 months. Impressive dedication. Your father would be proud. Don't talk about my father. Why not? He died because his commanding officer ignored his intelligence. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? How many times have your superiors ignored you because of your age, your gender? How many times have you been right and been dismissed anyway? Maya said nothing. Beside her, Marcus and Blackwood were zip-tied to chairs, both conscious, both bleeding from the rough handling during capture. Khan walked closer. I'm going to give you a choice, Commander. A genuine choice. You can cooperate. Tell me everything about U.S. operations in Afghanistan. Troop movements, planned raids, intelligence gathering. In exchange, I'll let your men go. Release them unharmed. You stay as my prisoner, but they walk free. No deal. You didn't let me finish. If you refuse, I execute one of them every hour until you change your mind. Starting with the Marine who pushed you to the ground this morning. Khan looked at Marcus. Staff Sergeant Cole, I know all about your incident with Commander Rivers. How does it feel knowing the woman you assaulted is about to die trying to protect you? Marcus's voice was hoarse. It feels like I was an idiot this morning, and I'm trying to make up for it now. Noble. Useless, but noble. Khan turned back to Maya. What's your answer, Commander? I'm not giving you intelligence, and you're not executing anyone. Because in approximately 90 minutes, Task Force Phantom is going to breach this location and kill everyone here, including you. Khan laughed. Task Force Phantom withdrew. I watched them leave. They abandoned you to save themselves. Very American. Very predictable. You think they left? You think Commander Chen would abandon 3 operators because you made it difficult? Maya met Khan's eyes. You don't know her. Don't know JSOC. They're coming. The only question is whether you're smart enough to run before they arrive. Bluffing. I've been hunting American forces for 15 years. I know when they retreat and when they regroup. They retreated. Then why are you still talking to me instead of executing me on camera? Why waste time with interrogation if you're so confident? Khan's expression flickered, just for a second. Doubt. Maya pressed the advantage. You're waiting, expecting an attack, expecting rescue, because you know JSOC doesn't leave people behind. So you're trying to use us as leverage, as insurance. But it won't work. They're coming, and when they do, you die. Perhaps, but you'll die first. Khan pulled out a knife,
walked toward Marcus. "Let's test your theory."
Let's see if JSOC arrives before I carve up your Marine friend. Blackwood spoke for the first time. His voice was calm, almost conversational. Khan, before you do something stupid, let me tell you what's about to happen. Commander Rivers is right. Task Force Phantom is positioning for extraction right now. They've got snipers on every approach, drones overhead, listening devices inside this building, and they're waiting for you to commit, to show yourself fully. You cut anyone, you expose your location. They hit you with precision fire. Building collapses. Everyone dies. That's a bluff. Is it? You're a smart man. You've survived 15 years against the most sophisticated military in history. How? By being cautious, by never fully committing, by always having an escape route. Blackwood leaned forward despite his zip ties. But right now, you're trapped. You know it. I know it. And Commander Rivers knows it. The only question is whether you're smart enough to negotiate your way out, or stupid enough to die here. Khan was quiet, calculating. What are you proposing? Prisoner exchange. You have 3 U.S. operators. We have Sergeant Mitchell and 17 of your fighters captured at FOB Phoenix. Trade. Clean. Professional. Everyone walks away. Your captured men are worthless, low-level operatives. None of them matter. Then keep Commander Rivers. Release me and Cole. 2 for 17. Better math for you. Maya understood what Blackwood was doing. Buying time. Making Khan think. Delaying execution until the rescue team could move into position. But Khan was too smart to fall for simple tactics. No trades, no deals. Commander Rivers dies on camera. Her death activates my network across 6 countries. Thousands of Americans die within days. That's worth more than any prisoner exchange. Then you've already lost, Maya said quietly, because your network is compromised. Sergeant Mitchell gave us everything. Names, locations, operational timelines. JSOC is rolling up your cells right now. While you've been focused on me, they've been dismantling your entire organization. Khan's hand tightened on the knife. You're lying. Am I? Call your people. Check in. See how many answer. Maya smiled without humor. You've been so focused on capturing me, on making me your trigger event, that you didn't notice the real operation. Using me as bait, while JSOC gutted your network. Khan pulled out a phone, made a call, waited. No answer. Called another number. No answer. His expression darkened. What have you done? My job. While you were playing ego games, trying to prove that women can't handle combat, I was feeding you false intelligence through Mitchell. Made you think your network was secure. Made you think the Helmand raid was real. Made you commit forces to an ambush we knew was coming. And while you were focused on that, JSOC hit your actual network, arrested 63 of your operatives across 4 countries in the last 6 hours. Khan's face went pale with rage. That's impossible. We have security protocols that Mitchell helped us crack. Every encrypted communication, every safe house, every operative. We have it all. Your network is dead, Khan. You just don't know it yet. Khan backhanded Maya across the face, hard enough to split her lip, hard enough to make stars explode across her vision. You think you've won? You're zip-tied to a chair with a knife at your throat. And you're trapped in a building surrounded by the most elite operators in the U.S. military, with nowhere to run and no network to escape to. So yeah, I think I've won. Khan raised the knife. This was it. Either Maya had bought enough time,
Or she'd miscalculated and was about to die. The building's lights went out. Total darkness. Then gunfire. Not from inside, from outside. Snipers taking out Khan's guards positioned around the perimeter.
Suppressed shots. Precise. Professional. Khan was moving in the darkness. Maya heard him running, heard doors opening, heard him shouting orders in Pashto to fighters who were already dead or dying. Someone cut her zip ties. Blackwood's voice. "Stay down. Let them work." Flashbangs detonated. The room exploded with light and sound. Maya couldn't see, couldn't hear, but she felt hands pulling her up, moving her toward an exit. Chen's voice in her ear. "I've got you. Move. Now." They ran through the basement. Behind them, gunfire and shouting. Ahead, fresh air and extraction vehicles. Maya's legs barely worked. Whatever the buried charge had done to them during the initial ambush was making running agony. But she ran anyway, because stopping meant capture, and capture meant death. Marcus appeared beside her, supporting her weight. "I've got you. Keep moving." "Where's Khan?" "Gone. Rabbit holed out the back before we could secure the perimeter. But we got his fighters. Captured 12, killed 8, and we got you back." They reached the vehicles. Chen was coordinating extraction, moving operators with crisp efficiency. Rachel was there too, her medical bag ready, immediately checking Maya's injuries. "You're a disaster," Rachel said. "Broken ribs, possible leg fractures, concussion. I'm alive. That's what matters." "Barely." They loaded into armored vehicles and drove fast through hostile terrain. Behind them, the building where Maya had been held exploded, demolition charges ensuring Khan couldn't use it again. Blackwood sat across from Maya, bleeding from a dozen cuts, but smiling. "That was the most insane rescue I've participated in during 38 years of service." "Did we get Khan's network? Was I telling the truth or bluffing?" "Both. Mitchell's intelligence was real. But JSOC only managed to arrest about 20 operatives. The other 43 you mentioned were fabrication. You sold Khan on numbers he couldn't verify under stress." Blackwood's smile widened. That was psychological warfare at its finest. Made him think his entire operation was compromised. Made him panic. Made him vulnerable. "But Khan escaped. We didn't capture him." "No, but we shattered his confidence, destroyed his network, forced him to abandon his base and run with nothing but the clothes on his back." Chen leaned forward. "Commander Rivers, you just crippled the most dangerous terrorist operation in Afghanistan. Khan's network is in shambles. His operatives are captured or dead. His planned attack is prevented. That's a win." "It's not a win until Khan's dead or captured." "Then we keep hunting, but this time he's the one running scared." They reached the Phantom base at 0430. Medical personnel swarmed Maya, Marcus, and Blackwood. Rachel supervised their treatment with the intensity of someone personally invested in their survival. "You're going to need surgery on that leg," Rachel told Maya. "The explosion caused microfractures throughout your tibia. If you don't get it repaired, I'll get it repaired after the mission's complete." "The mission is complete. Khan's network is destroyed." "Khan's still alive." "Maya, you can't hunt a man when you can barely walk." "Then I'll hunt him sitting down." Rachel grabbed Maya's shoulders, not gently. "Listen to me. You've been shot, blown up, captured, tortured, and run through a gauntlet that would have killed most operators. You're 22 years old and you're destroying your body. At some point, you have to accept that you've done enough, that someone else can finish this fight." "My father died because someone else tried to finish his fight. I'm not making that mistake." "Your father died because his commanding officer was an idiot. You can't control other people's stupidity. You can only control your own choices. Choose to heal.
Choose to live.
Before Maya could respond, Chen appeared. Commander Rivers, I need you in the operations center. We've intercepted the communication from Khan. He's making demands. Maya followed Chen despite Rachel's protests. In the operations center, they played the intercepted message. Khan's voice, distorted but recognizable. Commander Rivers, I know you're listening. I know you survived. Congratulations. You've proven yourself worthy of a real challenge. So here it is. I have the location of your next target. A high-value meeting of Taliban leadership. 27 commanders in one location. The biggest opportunity for JSOC in 5 years. I'm willing to trade this intelligence for safe passage. Me and my remaining operatives. We disappear. You get your target. Everyone wins. Chen paused the message. It's a trap, obviously. But the intelligence could be real. If Khan actually knows where Taliban leadership is gathering... He's lying, Maya said. There's no meeting. This is revenge. He wants to lure us into an ambush. Kill as many operators as possible before he disappears. You're certain? Khan's ego is wounded. His network is shattered. His reputation is damaged. The only thing that restores his standing with Taliban leadership is killing Americans. Lots of Americans. A high-value target raid would give him that opportunity.
But if the intelligence is real and we ignore it, we lose the chance to decapitate Taliban leadership.
Maya was quiet, thinking. Let me talk to him, directly. See if I can verify the intelligence without committing forces.
That's risky. He'll try to manipulate you.
Let him try. I've spent 6 months studying his patterns. I know how he thinks. Chen set up a secure communication link. When Khan's voice came through, it carried satisfaction. Commander Rivers, still alive, still fighting. You're more resilient than I anticipated. You wanted to talk. Talk. What's your offer? I told you, intelligence about Taliban leadership meeting, in exchange for safe passage. Where's this meeting happening? You think I'll tell you over an open channel? We meet, face to face, neutral ground. You bring verification that JSOC will honor safe passage. I bring the intelligence. We trade. No. You give me something to verify first. Prove the intelligence is real. Then we discuss terms. Khan was quiet for a moment. The meeting is in the Korangal Valley. 48 hours from now. Commanders from 6 provinces. Planning coordinated attacks on U.S. forces for the spring offensive. One strike could eliminate a generation of Taliban leadership. Maya looked at Chen, who was already pulling up intelligence. The Korangal Valley was notorious, the deadliest valley in Afghanistan, called the Valley of Death by soldiers who'd fought there. If Khan was setting an ambush, Korangal was perfect territory. But Chen's analyst was showing her something. Signal intercepts from the last week. Chatter about a leadership meeting. Nothing confirmed, but enough activity to suggest something was happening.
He might be telling the truth, Chen whispered.
Maya made a decision. Khan, I need 48 hours to verify your intelligence. If it checks out, I'll meet you. Discuss terms. But if you're lying, if this is another trap, I will spend the rest of my life hunting you. I will find you. I will kill you. And I will make sure your death is humiliating enough that Taliban leadership remembers what happens to people who cross me. Understood? Understood, Commander. I look forward to our meeting. The line died. Marcus had been listening from the doorway. You're not actually meeting him. Tell me you're not that crazy. I'm not meeting him. I'm using the meeting as bait, making him think I'm desperate enough to negotiate, making him position his forces for an ambush. Then we hit him when he's committed. That's risky. If he's telling the truth about the leadership meeting, Then we verify it independently. Use surveillance drones, satellite imagery, human intelligence. If there really is a leadership meeting, we hit it. If there's not, we hit Khan instead. Chen nodded slowly. That could work. But Commander, you're in no condition to lead a mission. Your injuries aren't relevant. I'm the intelligence officer. I don't need working legs to analyze reconnaissance data. Over the next 48 hours, Task Force Phantom worked around the clock to verify Khan's intelligence. Surveillance drones confirmed unusual activity in the Korangal Valley. Thermal imaging showed large gatherings in compounds that had been empty for months. Signal intercepts revealed encrypted communications, suggesting high-level coordination. It's real, Chen said on hour 46. Khan was telling the truth. There is a leadership meeting. This is the biggest target opportunity we've had in 5 years.
But Khan knows we're coming, Maya said. He'll have positioned his remaining forces to ambush us during the raid. So we plan for both. Hit the leadership meeting and Khan simultaneously. 2 targets, 1 operation. They planned through the night. The raid would insert via helicopters at 0300. One team would hit the leadership compound. Another would target Khan's expected ambush position. Overwhelming force, superior tactics. No margin for error. At 0200, Maya was in the operations center, coordinating intelligence, when Rachel found her. "You're not going," Rachel said. It wasn't a question. "I'm not cleared for field work. My leg, that's not why you're staying. You're staying because you finally realized you don't have to carry everything alone. That JSOC can complete this mission without you on the ground." Maya looked at the tactical displays. At the operators preparing to launch. At Marcus, gearing up with Phantom's assault team. At Chen, coordinating from the command center. "I spent 6 months tracking Khan. Feels wrong to finish it from a chair. Feels smart. Feels like growth. Feels like accepting that leadership isn't about being the toughest person in the fight. It's about putting the right people in the right positions and trusting them to execute. My father never learned that. Always had to be in the field. Always had to be the hero. Got him killed. You're not your father. You're better. You learn from his mistakes." The helicopters launched at 0300. Maya watched through drone feeds as they approached the target. The leadership compound was exactly where Khan said it would be. Thermal imaging confirmed at least 30 high-value individuals inside. The assault was textbook. Flashbangs, breaching charges, operators flowing through the compound with practiced precision. 27 Taliban commanders captured, without a single American casualty. But Khan's ambush never materialized. His forces weren't positioned around the compound, weren't waiting to attack. "Where is he?" Chen demanded. "He should be here, should be trying to hit us during the extraction." Maya studied the reconnaissance data, looked at the pattern, looked at what Khan had done versus what he'd said he'd do, and understood. "He's not here," Maya said quietly. "He was never going to be here. He gave us real intelligence about the leadership meeting because he knew we couldn't resist. Knew we'd commit our best operators to this target. Knew we'd strip security from our bases to maximize force on the raid." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying Khan's not ambushing the raid. He's hitting our base. Right now. While everyone's deployed. While we're vulnerable." Chen's face went white. She grabbed the radio. "Base security, report status." Static. "Base security, respond." More static. Then gunfire in the background. A panicked voice. "We're under attack! Multiple hostiles breaching the perimeter. Request immediate reinforcement." Khan had done it again. Used their expectations against them. Made them commit to one fight while he launched another. And Maya was at the base. With Rachel. With support personnel. with maybe 20 security guards against Khan's full remaining force. Chen was screaming orders, calling for helicopters to abort extraction and return to base. But they were 40 minutes away. Too far. Too slow. Maya grabbed her sidearm despite her injured leg. "Rachel, get to the medical bunker. Walk yourself in. Don't open for anyone except me or Chen." "What are you going to do?" "What I've been trained to do. Fight." She limped toward the sound of gunfire, her legs screaming protest with every step. Behind her, Rachel was calling for help, organizing the non-combat personnel into defensive positions. Maya reached the perimeter just as Khan's fighters breached the fence. 20 men, maybe more, all heavily armed,
all trained. And facing them was Maya Rivers, 22 years old, wounded, exhausted, barely able to walk, but still a SEAL. She dropped the first fighter with 2 shots, the second with 3. The third charged her with a knife, and she used his momentum against him. Judo throw that sent him crashing into the fence, hard enough to snap his neck. More fighters coming. Too many. She couldn't hold them alone. Then Marcus was there, having jumped from a helicopter that had broken from the formation to return early. "You didn't think I'd let you fight alone, did you?" "You're supposed to be securing the leadership meeting." "Lockwood's got that. I'm where I need to be." They fought side by side, Maya with her sidearm and tactical training, Marcus with his rifle and combat experience. 2 warriors who'd started the day as enemies and were ending it as something closer to family. Khan appeared at the perimeter, not leading his fighters, watching, calculating. And when he saw Maya, saw her wounded, struggling, barely standing, his expression transformed into something like joy. "Commander Rivers!" Khan's voice carried over the gunfire. "Finally! No tricks, no tactics, just you and me, warrior to warrior." "I'll give you one chance," Maya shouted back. "Surrender. Live. Face trial." "I'd rather die fighting than live caged." "Then you'll die fighting." Khan charged, not with a gun, with a knife. Traditional combat, hand to hand, testing Maya's skills against his. It should have been suicide. Maya was wounded, exhausted, barely able to put weight on her injured leg. Khan was fresh, trained, fighting on adrenaline and rage. But Maya had something Khan didn't. She had 6 months of studying his patterns, 6 months of understanding how he thought, 6 months of knowing that his ego would make him predictable. Khan lunged. Maya sidestepped despite her injured leg. His knife passed where she'd been standing. She grabbed his wrist, twisted, used his momentum to drive him into the ground. His knife clattered away. "You're beaten," Maya said, her gun to his head. "It's over." Khan laughed. Actual laughter. "You think capturing me ends this? I'm one man. The cause is bigger than... The cause is dying. Your network is destroyed. Your leadership is captured. Your fighters are surrendering or dying. You're the last piece, and once you're gone, it's finished." Helicopters overhead. Chen's voice over the radio. "Commander Rivers, we have visual. Perimeter is secure. Khan's remaining forces are surrendering." "You did it. You won." Maya kept her gun steady. Khan met her eyes, and for a moment, she saw something she hadn't expected. Respect. "You're everything I said you weren't," Khan said quietly. "A real warrior. A real leader. I underestimated you because of your age and gender. Just like your Marine did this morning. We were both wrong. You're formidable." "I know." "Now shut up before I change my mind about taking you alive." They zip-tied Khan, loaded him onto a helicopter. By the time the sun rose, the battle was over. Task Force Phantom had captured 27 Taliban commanders, eliminated Khan's network, and taken Khan himself into custody. Maya sat in the medical tent while Rachel finally treated her injuries properly. Marcus sat beside her, his own wounds being bandaged. "We make a good team," Marcus said. "We do, despite your terrible first impression." "About that, I've been thinking. I judged you this morning based on appearance, made assumptions about your capability based on age and gender. That was wrong, inexcusable, and I'm going to spend the rest of my career making sure other Marines don't make the same mistake." "How?" "By telling them about you, about the 22-year-old SEAL commander who saved my life after I pushed her to the ground, who taught me that assumptions kill, and excellence has no gender, who proved that the quietest, smallest person in the room might be the most dangerous." Chen appeared with news. "Khan's talking, giving up everything, his network, his financiers, his political connections. We're going to dismantle the entire Taliban leadership structure based on his cooperation." "Why is he cooperating?" Maya asked. "Because you broke him, shattered his ego, made him realize he's not invincible. Sometimes that's all it takes. Proving to someone that their assumptions were wrong." Over the next week, Maya recovered. Her leg required surgery, but would heal. Her ribs would mend. The scars would fade. What wouldn't fade was the impact she'd made. Task Force Phantom's operation became legendary. The youngest SEAL commander in history had taken down the most wanted terrorist in Afghanistan, had proven that gender and age were irrelevant when skill and determination were absolute. Major Hayes, recovered from his injuries, visited Maya before she returned stateside.
"Commander Rivers, I misjudged you. Looked at you and saw a kid. Saw a woman. Didn't see the warrior. That was my failure. And I'm making sure every Marine who serves under me knows about it, so they don't repeat my mistake." "Sir, respect is earned. I don't blame you for doubting me before I proved myself." "That's gracious, but wrong. Respect should be assumed until someone proves they don't deserve it. I made you earn something you'd already earned through your training and service. That's on me." The Marine Corps awarded Marcus a commendation for his role in the operation. During the ceremony, he publicly thanked Maya. "This morning, I made the worst mistake of my career. I pushed a superior officer because I assumed she was weak. Turned out, she was the strongest person I'd ever met. She taught me that assumptions kill, that ego is the enemy, and that excellence speaks louder than appearance. I'm a better Marine because of Commander Rivers, and every Marine who serves after me will benefit from the lessons she taught." 3 months later, Maya was back at SEAL Team 7 headquarters when she received a letter from Khan, written from his prison cell. "Commander Rivers, you defeated me not through superior firepower or better tactics, but through superior understanding. You knew my weakness, ego, and exploited it perfectly. You proved that intelligence matters more than strength,